Well, we're live. Good morning. It's Saturday morning live with Johnny Boy, and let me just get the main screen on here so I can actually see what's actually going on. If I can see, that is, with my eyesight, it's absolutely dreadful. I know there's a delay on these streams, so I'm sure that some people will be tuning in at some point anyway. So let me just get some. Steamman Norfolk, good morning. Good morning, Steamman. How's it going? Hope you're well. Hope you're healthy. Be good to get your name and who you are, because I tell you, I love some of these names. Maybe I should just stick with some of the YouTube subscribers' names as opposed to asking people what the names are. But I just think it's just common courtesy, I suppose. Let me just get some paper here now. I always write these names. I think it's always a great way of actually remembering people's names. And you can see I've got the A4 now. I'm getting the pen out now. And look at that. That is nothing to do with it. Just found that in the drawer. Look, a sweet packet. Look. So, Steamman Norfolk. Let's just get that down now. I'll get going with this in a moment. Just been out walking the dog. Steamman Norfolk. And this is how I remember people. Steamman, it'll be nice to know exactly what your name is. I'll be interested to know. Don't forget, mind, when you join the live stream this morning, hit the like button. We've got one like at the moment. I'm hoping more people will actually join. I do these live streams every Saturday morning. I love doing them because it simply keeps me away from work. Elite ground maintenance. Hi, Johnny Boy from North East. Elite ground. I'm going to get this up now, right, onto the Robert Beatty, 2 likes now. Yeah, 2 likes. Not bad, Rob. Maybe we'll get a few more. 6 likes a show now. We've got 14 live viewers. Let me get the live stream up on here because it's easier for me to see rather than using these glasses. We'll get going with this in a moment. Just bear with me a sec. It's a live stream, and that's what actually happens. 16 live viewers. Rob Fry's joined us. Rob, how you doing, bud? I hope you're well. Good to see you on here. Paul, good morning, Johnny Boy from Birmingham. Paul, good morning, mate. And that's how it's done. It's good to see people on here. There's the live stream. There's the live stream. Let's turn the volume down. Now, I can actually see who's shown. Davy Jones, Rob Fry, Paul, Elite Ground Maintenance from the Northeast. Good to see you, Steamman. Gareth Williams, good morning, buddy. Hope you and Alison are good. Gareth, I was actually in Manchester, mate. And I was so busy. I did message you. I think it was on a YouTube post to say that I was going up there. I don't know if you see it. Richard Dowd has joined us. Good morning, everyone. Rob Beatty, good morning from Leeds. Rob Beatty. Rob, good to see you, bud. Leeds, not doing so good at the moment. My team as well, like, not good. So let me just straighten that up. I don't know how that appears. Just want to get these things right before we get going with this. And remember, Saturday morning live, the reason I do this is to help the consumer and the contractor and bring us all together. Gareth Williams says, I'm at Tudor Grass Monday, mate. Gareth, don't forget to mention me. Make sure you get your discount. And they've got copious amounts of products. When I went to Tudor Grass in the past, many times in the past, it was all about the grass, but they've got loads of different products, cladding, and they've got, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, what's trending now is those vertical and horizontal cladding wood effect battens that they've got now, and it really is good, and a lot of companies doing out there. And Tudor Grass up there, Nick and Chris up there, and the girls, Sarah, Kaz and Gemma in the office. Great people to actually talk with, deal with. The thing is, you see, this is the thing, is it's great service. Now, this almost sounds like a commercial, like an advertisement, but this is an endorsement. Didn't mean to mention it. It was only because Gareth came up there, but I would have mentioned them at some time just to say where I've been this week. Now, the title of the live stream this morning, mainstream media is killing the economy. Well, I don't know what you think, but we are going to be talking about that this morning. But also, what we also got to remember, usually in these live streams, things go off at tangents at some point because we start talking about porcelain, we start talking about gardening, we start talking about business, etc., etc. But we talk about the things that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Nicholas McCartney, good morning, John. Nick here in Banbury. Good to see Nicholas McCartney. Nick, I'm so sorry that we haven't spoke lately. I've been absolutely massively busy. It's no excuse to not have called you, but I've just been so tired, Nick. but I'm feeling a lot better now than what I was a few weeks ago. I'd come in, I felt totally drained. Nick, this morning, the title of the live stream this morning is Mainstream Media is Killing the Economy. And I really think it is. All we hear on a regular basis is absolutely negativity all the time. Gareth Wilson says, every time I go in there, really hopeful and helpful and polite, which all suppliers wish all suppliers were the same. I totally agree. I walked into Wicks's the other day, and the lady said to me, I walked in, and obviously I looked at her because I wanted some sort of communication, and before I could say hello, she went, yeah. That was the words, yeah. And that was it. So I let her have it, both barrels. So anyway, we'll talk about that, and we can talk about all sorts of things, and we do go off at tangents at the moment. It's good to see Nicholas McCartney join us this morning. Nick, it'd be good to get your input at some point on plants and what's happening. Spring is on its way. Can anyone tell me what is the official first day of spring? Is the official first day? I never know what it is. I'm supposed to be having a cup of tea, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get one at the moment. I need some water, because something's happening here at the moment. Gareth Williams says, I'm very impressed this week with Beasley Fields. What's Beasley Fields? Abdul Alanzi, good morning from Cardiff. Good to see you, Abdul. Abdul, we'll have to meet up sometime, mate, and have a cuppa and have a chinwag. The title of the video this morning, I'm going to go back to it this morning. I get a little bit distracted on these live streams, but I think it's so polite to actually listen to what people has to say. The economy, isn't it? The mainstream media. When we think of mainstream media, we think of the newspapers, their social media presence, because they have a social media presence, like Instagram and Twitter, and and when we look at mainstream media, we look at like the news channels in general, and we look at like Sky News, the BBC, and there's a number of other channels. I can't remember all of them. And I really believe, good morning, Jem, good to see you, bud. Builders Merchants, mate, Beasley's, I've heard of them. What I was saying is that every time that you turn the telly on a regular basis, all it is, they run, and I've spoken about this so many times, they run with these really depressing stories. Now, I understand that they have to report the news, okay? But everything that they report is just on a negative in some way. I mean, massively. When they report the sport is the sport. It's actually fact. They're not really spinning anything about that, are they? But I think they really do spin about the media, about the economy. When they said that there's going to be, the other week I've seen on the news, they were using the word basically a small recession. We haven't even gone into recession. There's no doubt that inflation is rose, okay? And I'm not a figures or a numbers man, but I'd be interested to get your opinion on this. But I think it's 2 consecutive quarters that if it's below a certain rate, then we are in recession. Though they keep reporting that we're the worst in the world at the moment, the economy is worse in the world. But I beg to differ. Listening to some of the news channels, like the radio stations, I'm talking about negativities, but the feedback that I was seeing on some of the radio channel shows the other day, people phoning in, because it's not necessarily coming off the radio station, but people coming back and talking about, one lady was talking about, I know this is just one person, talking about her family and friends that live in Belgium. They were saying they're finding it really tough and really difficult. But what you have all the time is, if you look next time when the news comes on, they run a program and a schedule, different stories in that program, and it will all be negative stories. There is nothing positive at all. We have this rammed down our throats on a daily basis. It's just rammed down our throats, and it's just not good. And sometimes that feeling of you want to regurgitate what they're delivering to us, that feeling, that we just don't want to hear it. It's like, why do we want to turn the news on anyway? It's the same story over and over again. And I understand that if they're reporting the news, that they have to have different slots through the course of the day and the evening. But what they're actually doing, it's the same stories. There's very regular. You got to think about the boat people. You got the migrants. You got to think about the war going on. You got to think about the economy going on. You got the things about politicians on a regular basis. Everybody seems to be catching everybody out. Everybody's spent so much time and energy looking, right, looking to get a story on somebody and spinning bad news. And I really think, not just a moral obligation, but I really feel that they should have a legal obligation, that there are watchdogs out there that govern these news channels, and they talk about making sure that they deliver the news in a very I'm not going to get that thing about biased and unbiased and all that sort of thing, and I'm not, and the Gary Lineker story and all that rubbish, I'm not going to get into that. But again, it was just a negative story. They picking up on somebody arguing. It's like almost going to being in a pub or a family. There's always one person that's stirring all this up. Everybody seems to be wanting to get something on somebody else, and it's just not good. And I really feel that what they should be doing is actually delivering some good news. We need good news. We want good, positive stories. Now, if you look at this live feed this morning, I'm actually delivering something negative, but hopefully something positive will come from it. And I don't think that anything comes from anything positive with what they're reporting, because it usually ends up with somebody getting the sack over something that they said in some way. And just basically, I remember during when we had a recession before, it was like as if when Sky's News started reporting, I'm going to pick on them at the moment, right? When they started, they all run the same story, so it reflects all of them. When they started talking about something positive, it was like as if somebody had turned the tap on and off, and then the phone starts ringing. It affects us. There's no doubt in any way whatsoever that this doesn't affect us. What they're reporting as a detrimental effect on the economy. And what I would suggest is that what these watchdogs should say, that the news that they are reporting, right? The news that they're reporting should be a little bit more positive in some respects, and it should be sort of proportionally represented in some way. And I don't know what you think, but am I right in saying this? To point this out. So at some point during this live stream, we will get on to something massively positive. People will respond to this and they'll have an opinion and they can get it off the chest. This is a place where you can vent and you can explain and tell us what you're actually feeling. No gel in my hair this morning, Gareth. No gel in my hair. Let's have a little read what people are saying on here at the moment. Just going back there. Never listen to the news, John says. Tidy Gardens. No, never listen to the news. Tidy Garden says, even YouTube content creators use negative thumbnails to create clickbait. Do you know, Tidy, you're absolutely right. I really try to avoid that. Sometimes I try to do it with a little bit of humour. And yeah, it is clickbait. But the thing is, if I never use clickbait sometimes in a way, don't use clickbait to that extreme. Like, if you look at things like Mr. Beast, and I don't know, it's a funny area, isn't it? Gareth Williams says, can I ask the guys' thoughts on quotes at the times it takes up? Does anyone charge? I don't know, the amount of customers who have the idea of costs and waste my time is getting too much. Absolutely. Gareth, my opinion is that I'm going to answer question by question and opinions. I'm going to get back to what Gareth says there. I've spoke to many people about this. You need to start charging for your quotes. If you charge £35, for example, just for your quote, just to go out to cover your fuel, at least your fuel and your time, you are worth at least £15 an hour. That's what you've got to try and say. Even to go and do a quote, it's your time. You're probably worth more than that. Yeah, charge for your quote. And I think what it does, Gareth, and I think what a lot of people don't understand is that you are making a stand by charging for your quote. You're ruling out your tire kickers, and your customers can see that you value yourself. They will say to you, does it come out if they accept the quote? You can say, yes, it does. But you know yourself, it's an add-on anyway. But when we actually look, if we were pricing 5 jobs a week, and let's just say, for instance, we charge £50 a quote, that's £200 a week, okay? 5 quotes a week, that's like £800 a month. That's nearly £9,000 a year that you can actually charge for your time. Your time is valuable. And yes, Gareth, and if you want to speak to me, any of you want to speak to me on a one-to-one basis on this subject of whether you should charge for your quotes, I'm more than happy to listen to you. Just a reminder, what I try and like to do, I'm going to give my number out now because it'd be great actually to get some feedback off you. This is my number. It's 07795595994. That's my number on a live stream. It's what I do. I'm fully committed to this channel. I'm fully committed to you guys. We are building this channel and we've got a great community on there. If you have any questions about any things that we were talking about this morning, if I can help, if you want to hear my opinion, we can do it on a one-to-one basis and I won't charge you a penny for it. It's no problem at all. Let's have a little look back now at the moment, going back to that now. Elite Ground Maintenance says, thank you. Think watching the news at the moment just drags you down and depressing. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree, bud, 100%. Totally agree with you. Mr. Tidy Garden says, John, you're spreading awareness. That's positive result. Damien Garden Channel from Ireland. Damien, listen, mate, I'd love to have a chat to you sometime. And it looks like I'm going to be heading out to Ireland at some point this year. Just got my passport back. Now the passport office, Alison tells me, Alison being my wife, is that they're going on a 5-week strike. Just literally come last night, my passport. We had to pay special delivery. I think it come about 9 o'clock. So they're going on a strike, so I can still head out there. And I'll repeat what Mr. Tidy Garden says there. John, you're spreading awareness. That's a positive result. Damien Garden in Channel from Ireland. I wish everybody thought that, but honestly, I really do. Don't forget, there's my number. If you want to send me a picture from where you are this morning, this is not about me. I love, after the live stream, to sit down there and have a look. And I tell you, I need to sit down after this live stream. I want to have a little look about what you guys are doing and what your life is about. It's not all about the landscaping, it's what makes people tick. So let's have a look about what you're doing this morning. Not a bad day today. A little bit of mist when we went walking the dogs this morning. The sun was coming up. It's absolutely beautiful. We left a little bit late this morning, but there was a few people around, but it was great to get out and have a walk. Mr. Tidy Gardens, thank you very much for that. Jem says, up in Cheshire, Landscape says, because a recession affects everyone, when it's mentioned, everyone tends, which spells paper, etc. So they constantly bring it up. Yeah, it does. I massively, I totally agree with you. Nicholas McCartney in Banbury, our Nick, he says, I always say Nick, so we're very, very fond of him. Nicholas McCartney says, I used to charge for quotes, Gareth Williams, and the client got the fee taken off the bottom line. Found it avoided the tyre kickers. There you have. See, the thing is, this is why this channel works. It's not just about me. Nicholas McCartney, who's been in this industry for a long, long time, he's an absolute star. He says it there. It's an endorsement of what I've been talking about a long time, and it comes off the bottom line. So I totally agree with him there. Thank you, Nick, for that. Bradley Mark. Gareth, I've heard people charge for quotes, then deduct the fee from the bill. If a customer goes ahead with work, not sure how well that works or not. It does work really, really well, Bradley Mark. And do you know the thing is, I think that there are a lot of people out there, even through tough times, will look at it and they will value your time. And there are lots of people that won't value your time. And it's those tire kickers that tend not to go with you, and they'll get other quotes because they're looking for the cheapest quote. Is it right to look for the cheapest quote? Why would you want the cheapest quote? I think you want a quote that has value for money. I suppose that's what it is. And just go back to that point, what I'm making now is that the ones, let me just repeat this, the ones that want to pay for a quote are looking for the cheapest quote. It tells you a lot about them, okay? Companies out there spend millions on data and research to see sociology, right? People sociology on what people look for, okay? How their mindsets are. And all I'm saying to you, right, is that if there is somebody, an element of a consumer base that doesn't want to pay for a quote, and that's because they're looking for the cheaper quote. What you want is somebody that's looking for value for money, okay? That is prepared to listen to you and go through the quote with you step by step, okay? You don't necessarily have to break the quote down, okay? You can break it down to a degree, but not too far. You can't break down what all your running costs are to customers, okay? You can't break down what all your running costs are to a customer because one, it's nothing to do with them. Two, you can't spend more time explaining what it costs to run your business. And I mention that because on a regular basis over the years, we have had people that will ask us to break the quote down, okay? And my answer is that you can't really break the quote down simply because you'd have to break down all your running costs, because you could say the turf, the decking, okay, the paving's cost this costs this, the grass costs this, okay? But what about your public liability insurance, your insurance on your van, your rent where you keep your machines, the fee that you're paying for your van a month, the cost of your trailer that you've bought that you have to incorporate into your business at some time. You can't break it down to that degree. You just can't do it. So when a customer says to you, can you break the quote down? In essence, you say, no, I can't. And the reason I can't, because I'd have to go through all the figures, and why should you explain everything in detail about your business, okay? Your business is your business. It's not no one else's business. And what we've got to try and do, you've got to give an answer to your potential customers, saying, well, I can't really break it down because I have to explain to you about my public liability, my insurance, the cost of my tyres, the cost of my units, the cost of my labour. Do you see what I mean? The rent, the electric, the gas, the water, okay? To run a business, because it does. The workwear, clothing, you know. Some of you may think that that's a little bit silly, but that is all part of your business, okay? And we have to become more business-like as contractors on a day-to-day basis about how we approach our business. We just can't go out there and just say, oh yeah, this is the price, and throw a price at them and hope that we can get it and think that the numbers just work in our head. We have to write the numbers and the figures down. Let's have a little read what people are actually saying this morning. It's great what Nicholas McCartney says. Just going to read what he says again. He says, I used to charge for quotes, Gareth Williams, and the clients got the fee taken off the bottom line. Found it avoided the tyre kickers. Bradley says, Gareth, I've heard people charge for quotes, then deducted the fee from the bill if the customer goes ahead with the work. Not sure how well that works. Mario Ritzy, good morning, Mario. How's it going, bud? I'm sorry I didn't answer straight away. I see you were on there. I'm just trying to go through these questions and answers a little bit more coherent. Alison says, Gareth Williams, we always charge. Your time is precious. What a wonderful word, isn't it? To actually say to a customer, you know, just imagine a customer saying to you, really, do you charge for your quotes? You know, you don't have to explain, you know, the cost of running out to see people, running out, running back, getting ready, taking those samples, going out and taking some samples. Do you see how this is going? But the word that Alison actually used there is precious. Our time is precious. It has a value. It's not just precious, it's actually priceless. Our time is priceless, without a shadow of a doubt. Do you know, I think these live streams are absolutely fantastic because, you know, I like to think that this platform is a voice of reasoning, isn't it? You know, and it helps to sort of clarify a few things. Normally what we find is on here, you can see it's already happened, that people like Nick is talking to Gareth and other people, they're talking and trying to help in some positive way. Precious, isn't it? Yeah, it's priceless. Our time is priceless. Why do we give our time away for somebody for nothing? If anybody actually expects, and I really feel that, you know, I've been going on about this for some time. Don't say that you heard it here first, because I think a lot of people have been talking about this for a long time. But the thing is, if you're talking about it and people aren't taking actions, that means that they're not listening. So we will talk about this again at some point, okay? And we can carry on going this morning if needs be. But you need to charge for your time. Your time is valuable. You're only here on this earth once, okay? You're here on this earth once. So yes, it's precious. It's priceless. It's funny how these comments actually, oh yeah, there we are. We've got a few more on here now. Look at this. Alison says, Gareth Williams, some people will always want cowboys, which is why if you charge for the quotes, you'll get better quality work and the clients who will value you. New View Landscape says, good morning all. Good morning, Ben. I'm sorry I'm late in saying hello. I didn't see all these comments. Richard Dowd says, you don't say to Ford, can you break down the cost to make the tipper? Absolutely valid point. Thank you, Richard Dowd, for that. This is why it makes sense. We can start recognizing and start sort of getting some clarity and working out in our head about what this is all about, why we're doing what we're doing. Gareth says, thanks, Alison. This is the worst time I've had for time wasting quotes. That's why you need to charge, Gareth. That's why you need to charge. And there's nothing wrong. This is not talking about you now. Lots of people, Gareth, not just you, actually don't charge for the quotes. Alison's on here. Why should you give professional advice for free? Yeah, absolutely. Do other professionals, i.e. solicitors, etc. Yes, yes, yes. This is the point. When you're going out there, you're going out and you're educating the consumer about how the project should be done, how you're going to be doing it, what product knowledge of all those key products that they're potentially going to use in that garden. So just look at that. Think of the value that you're actually giving them. They need to charge for your time. Just imagine over the course of the year, okay, your revenue goes up by £8,000 and actually your time that's spent on going to see customers, right, actually goes down and you're not consuming so much fuel. Do you see, all of you, do you see the value in charging for your quotes? Talked about this so many times. I get so excited when you start realising the value of it. Let's go and see what people, do you know, it's great really, because I know that a lot of people never got time on a Saturday morning to watch live feeds. That's why I try and do them on a regular basis. But when we actually look at the value of this video now, maybe I should do a video just all about why you should price before anyone else does. Alison says, Gareth Williams, please give us a call. We're here to help. As a family, as a business, as mentors, as people in your industry, we're here to help. Alison and I, and I've learned so much from my wife. She has a massive value. They see it differently. It's extra eyes and ears on the business. Sam O'Connor, morning Johnny boy. Good morning, Sam. Like to know where you are. Don't forget mine this morning, Saturday morning live. I'm going to put my number up there again. I'm going to read some of the comments on here. Do you know these live streams go so fast? Let me just 07795595994. Oh, it's not on there. There we are. So it's 07795595994. There is my number. I don't mind giving my number out. If you want to send me a picture of what you're doing, where you are this morning, who you are, what you're about, I want to know all about you. It's not just about me. Look at that. We've had 26 live viewers, only 13 likes. Please, if you don't know how to do it, find out how to hit the like button. It's good for the analytics. Hit the like button this morning. Please get on there. Hey, I want to see. Got some technical questions coming up in a minute. If it's okay, charge for your professional advice. Paul says, I had a customer ask for a breakdown on a job. When she had what the labour cost was, she said, oh no, I won't pay someone who earns more an hour than I do. Let me just read that again. So basically, Paul, customer wanted you to break it down, and she didn't want to pay you because you were going to earn more than her an hour. Absolutely ridiculous. It's beyond comprehension. That is just absolutely ridiculous. If you are a consumer this morning and you've got a contractor and you want them to break the quote down, you can. It's a difficult thing to talk about, but they have lots of running costs. Okay, they have lots of running costs. So it's difficult. I would just say, no, I can't break the quote down. The quote is broken down in the areas, in the description about what you're going to do and the method and everything. But the price, if it's a whole price, is a price. If you want me to re-quote just for one area, if you can't afford it, it's not in your budget. But that's the thing, you see. That's the thing why you need to charge for your quotes, because you go out and when you start breaking quotes down, they'll actually start looking at it and thinking, why should they pay you? Because it's a funny old thing, you know. Why do we pay solicitors? Because of their knowledge, okay? Why do we pay doctors sometimes when we have to go see somebody private? We've got the pictures coming in. There's my number. Send me some pictures this morning on WhatsApp. 07795 595 994. Gareth Williams, Paul says to Alison, I hope you're okay. I thought it was quite funny. Yeah, massively, Paul. I want people just to stay with that a moment, just have a look. They didn't want to pay Paul because they thought that... you know, they don't want to pay anybody that was earning more than them. That's the thing, you see, isn't it? When you start breaking stuff down, it starts giving them an insight to what it is. A quote is a quote, a price is a price. I wonder, when we book a flight on a plane or a train or a taxi, what the what the reaction would be if we asked them to break down the flights. Okay, if we booked a flight to Spain or something like that, and we asked the company if they could just break down, you've given me a quote, you've gone to the holiday place, and you've said, thanks very much, but can you just break the quote down? And they're going to break down the cost of the fuel and so forth. Rubbish, absolutely rubbish. When you look at it in that sense, it's just ridiculous. Jem says, I find if you talk the client through the process of laying their patio and answer their questions, they see the value of your work. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, Jem. Sometimes you just need to sit down. It's no good getting aerated and getting upset about the expectations of what people are saying. But I think what Jem says there, if you talk them through it and say, well, look, I can't really break it down because there's lots of overheads that I have in the business which I can't break down. I've got insurance on my van, I've got tyres, I have mechanical repairs, and that's what you're doing. They don't know the true cost of what you are worth per hour. 28 likes, 28 live viewers this morning, 18 likes. Absolutely fantastic conversation this morning. And I suggest that if you're watching this now, okay, and you've only just joined, it might be an idea to actually watch it a little bit later. 419 Brian says, is there someone on here near Winsford? My son was ripped off and the tiles need doing again, this time below DPC. Thanks. Brian, if you near Winsford, I think Jem would actually help you with that. I think Winsford is up in Cheshire. Am I correct in saying that? So Brian, if you need some advice, give us a call. You've got my number. Maybe we can put you in touch with somebody out there. Gareth says, the job I'm on at the minute, when I started, the customer said he could do it, but doesn't have three times in a week. He now says he can't believe what goes into landscaping and the hard work done. But the fact is, they never realised what's involved in a job. There's lots of things behind the scene that's involved in the job to get prepared for that project, what you need to do to make the phone calls, even the cost of your phone in business. It's just, there's so much involved. Giving breakdowns is a difficult thing to do. New View Certain Landscaping says, we personally don't charge for quotes, but we do charge for design. I had quite a rude customer a couple of weeks back question the fact that I charged for this, in which I responded. There you go. They won't look. I don't know what that was. There was a noise coming in. I better turn that off because somebody may have their conversation on a live stream. Just turn that off there now a moment. I think that's off. Yeah, that's off. We're away now. New View Landscaping says that he doesn't charge for quotes, but he charges for his design, which is good. And question the fact that I do this, which I responded. Yeah, I had quite a rude customer. That's because they don't value, and that's the reality of it. It's, honest. It's such a shame sometimes that when you join these live streams that you actually don't join. That you don't join at the start because you can hear all the conversation. And as if by magic, this cup of tea appears. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. Look, the one thing I always try and remind myself, if you've got any questions or if you've got any opinions, not just on the live stream, drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. I want to hear off you about anything. If there's any advice that you can actually give me, or if there's any advice that you want to share and you don't necessarily want to type it on now, drop us an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. It'd be great to get your opinion on anything, okay? I want to hear from you. How we can improve this channel, how we can help other landscapers, how we can help the consumer to get what they're looking for and to get the value as well, but also to help them to understand. And I really hope that, and I know that we have consumers on here. And while we're talking about consumers, we have a consumer that joins us on a regular basis. I'm not going to mention their name, but my heart goes out to you, and I really feel for your loss at the moment. So if you're watching the morning, God bless you, and I have been thinking of you. So thanks for everything that you've actually done for me. You're an absolute inspiration. So there we go. I said it. We are building a community on here, and we have to recognise the people that take part in these live streams. Just go back to this now. Neil Farah says, never do breakdown, in my opinion. There you are. Neil, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Never do breakdowns, in my opinion. What do we say to customers and say, oh, we have to just say, sorry, but we don't do breakdowns. Okay, we don't do breakdowns. And then they may think that you don't do breakdowns because they think that they feel that you're going to give something away, isn't it? But you're not giving nothing away. The fact is, if you did a breakdown, I would charge. That's the thing, you see. So if a customer asks me for a breakdown, I say, yeah, I'll give you a breakdown, absolutely 100%, okay? But I'm going to have to charge you for giving the breakdown because that costs time in itself, isn't it? Because if we did a true breakdown, we look at every cost that we run in our business, and to put that onto paper and write it all down, why should anybody know all that business? Okay, why should anybody know that business? You could give them a verbal, we see all this materials, and you can actually say, well, I've got this, I've got that, and things that you don't see my running costs, but I'm not prepared to explain that to you. It's not your business really in some way. Look, I just had a notification. We started this up this morning. The title was Mainstream Media is Killing the Economy. I've just had a notification come through, Sky News again, and it's just absolutely depressing. Absolutely depressing. There you are, 27 live viewers. When you come on here, try and give it a like. And what I would suggest is try and go back and watch this live stream because it's been absolutely fantastic every week. Because you guys make it, not because of me, because of the questions and your opinions. Like Neil Farrer says, never do breakdowns. There we are. If you're a consumer watching this morning, Neil Farrer says he doesn't do breakdowns, and I totally agree with him. Nicholas McCartney says, add the fact that you're on a website that you charge for a quote, including VAT, if applicable, makes you stand out from the crowd. There we are. Valuation again from Nicholas McCartney, who's been doing this a long time. Just don't take my word for it. Take the common consensus. Try and work out of all the answers that we're having on this live stream this morning about their opinions. Gareth Williams says, he said that. I've got to go back to where I am now. Lots of things coming in here. Just trying to read them a bit fast now. Carl Button says, thanks, Alison. We have never charged for quotes, but maybe it's time. Yeah, I think it is. It is time. It is time, Carl Button. Good to see one of you, mate. Thanks for joining. Sick of lies. There he is, my mate on here. Morning all. I don't do breakdowns unless the client has 100% decided they're going to go with me. My breakdowns before that is amount if they have it done and nothing if they don't. There you are. He says it straight from the horse's mouth. Gareth says, I had a lady book me in a quote at 3 p.m. I left my current job early around about 6 mile round trip and she had gone out. What a joke. Send her a bill, Gareth. Send her a bill. Absolutely disgusting. That's the reason, seriously, that's the reason you need to charge for your quote. Gareth, we've had that before, Gareth. That's rude, isn't it? That really is rude. Charge for your quote. I don't want to get too animated on it this morning, but there you are. That's a really good reason. Please let me have a cup of tea. Let me have a cup of tea. What a fantastic cup of tea. Alison says, Carl Button, feel free to call us if you need a chat further. Look at this. Look at this. What we should do, Al, if you're watching this now, we should do a live stream, a Teams meet, and maybe have a meeting with different people and we can go through that. Maybe we can set that up. If you fancy doing a Teams meet with other landscapers, you can actually see their face, the faces behind, the names, the subscriber names, and we can do a Teams meet and we can have a meeting about that. Maybe we'll set one up in a week's time or something, do a Zoom meet or something. Carl Button says, I will do, Alison, thanks. Stan says, morning, but hope all is good. It's all good. It's all good because we're all sharing our opinions and advice on here this morning. 30 live viewers, 23 likes, absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you only just joined us, you really need to watch this live stream back because the opinions on here, and then you can watch it and you can listen to what people are saying. Phil Shaw's on here. Morning all. Phil, good morning to you, sir. How you doing? Don't forget mine. Send me some pictures in this morning. It's 07795. I'm going to get it on here now because I want to see what you're doing. Please send me a picture. 07795 595 994. If you're on your phone at the moment, do it a little bit later. Don't do it now when you're on a live stream. You might get cut off. Send me some pictures of where you are, what you're doing. I want to see what you're doing because I value you guys. We're building a community. Phil Shaw, good morning, mate. Alison says, Gareth Williams, there you go. This is so wrong on so many levels. Makes me so angry. She wasn't serious and didn't value you. That's a horrible thing to say, isn't it? Like, you know, I know Alison's stuck, but they didn't value Gareth. And we've had it. They just didn't value it. Otherwise, they would be there. Alison also said, if she had paid, she would have been there. There you are. It's starting to make sense, isn't it? Charge for your quotes. You need to do it. Even if it's a £5, charge for them. Then their value. They don't have to lose that. Can't beat a good cup of tea, says Rob. I'm going to have it now. And there can't beat a good hot cup of tea. Do you know, these Saturday mornings, I always, after the live stream, because I've been busy all week, right, is I normally sit down, I have a cup of tea, Alison brings me my tea, brings me my bacon sandwich. No, I help as well. Alison says, Stan, good morning. How's it going? Phil Shaw says, good morning, Phil. See, this is how it all works. They're all talking to each other. Alison says she makes lush teas, always in milk first. Milk in first. They're laughing at you, Al. They're laughing at you. Never milk first. I know sick of lives that would say that. How you going, Ben? I'd like to know how you're doing. Look, it's been a fantastic live stream this morning. We've had all this thing. Don't start about the tea again, Al. For goodness sake. Don't get on the tea. This morning, we got a young man coming down here this morning. Does some fantastic work with porcelain, and he's coming to see the Ruby machine. Okay, and I've got to showcase that to him. But what I've done, I've pulled the capacitor off because I was cleaning it, and I've got to get the Ruby team now to come and have a look at it and put it right. So I won't be running, but I'll be going through some Ruby stuff and talking to him this morning. And I won't be charging for my experience any shape or form whatsoever. Look, we had somebody on here this morning. Let me go back. And yeah, Winsford is in Cheshire. Let me just have a look who actually said it. Brian, 419 Brian. Gem Landscapes is in Cheshire. So Gem, please, just after, I'm not sure whether the live stream comments appear on here after or not. So I've never looked. But what you can do, you can actually put a comment on the live stream after. Brian, or send him a message. Not sure how all that actually works. Brian says, is there someone on here from near Winsford? My son was ripped off and the tiles need doing again, this time below DPC. Gem Landscapes is up there. I'm sure he would come and have a look, Brian. I said that earlier. So if you can sort of like link up, you're absolutely great. This is how it works. You can come out and have a look. Yeah. This is how this live stream works. We've built such a good community, and I get to see a lot of people's work. And I think what it tells you about the live streams, the people that interact, certainly, and not just the people that actually listen, but certainly the people that interact, really care and really take their business to, they want to take it to another level. Very serious about what they're doing. So Brian, we've got Gem Landscapes up there in Cheshire that may be able to help you out. Gareth says, many thanks to everyone. Yeah, Gareth, it's fine, mate. And thanks for you for watching this morning. Sick of Life says, when I see you, I will make you one my way. Rob Fry says, the comments don't appear after. Don't think, JB. No, I don't think they do, Rob. So what we need to do, if you want to pose any questions after to any other members on here, now when the live stream actually is finished, you'll be able to go on there and you'll be able to comment at some point. So please drop a comment. And you know, to all of you, to be honest, right, if all of you that have actually participated this morning, if sometime in the week that you could get on these live streams and actually put a comment, it'd be actually good, because it's good for the analytics. There you go. Hit the like button, says Rob Fry. Yeah, absolutely. Hit the like button. It's been a fantastic live stream this morning because you've made it. And lots of things I want to talk about. I just want to read what people are saying there, and they're coming through thick and fast because they're all having conversations with people. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we are doing. Good one. Like it. Nicholas McCartney's giving a thumbs up. Rob Fry's giving a thumbs up. Do you know, Rob, I have to say a big, massive thank you to you, because you've been an absolute stalwart when it comes to this channel, and really appreciate it. Sick Life says, Alison, I'm open to suggestions, but being old, I'm a bit stuck in my ways. Jem's giving us a thumbs up, Sickle Live, big thumbs up, absolutely fantastic. Guys, get on the stream after if you can, when it gets there, then just comment, just say anything at all. You can say something nice about me as well. As I said, I got somebody coming out to see the Ruby this morning. If you need any advice about anything that we've talked about this morning, we're here, we're available. Honestly, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I have to say thank you to everyone that always come on here every week, fully supporting what I'm actually doing. And it means a lot. It really means a lot to Alison and I don't think I'd ever want to miss one of these live streams. It's just in my blood now. Chris Stockings on here. Hey, Johnny, Alison, everyone. Sorry, Saturday's been busy of late. No problem at all, Chris. Good to see you on here. Nicholas McCartney says, may I have your email address, please? I don't know what email address you want, but ours or anyone else, but there we are. I'm sure Alison will get it on there for you, Nick. We can have a chat. Sometimes we're due a talk. Look, if there's anything you actually want to talk about at any point, I've not run out of things to say this morning, okay? There is plenty to say, okay? But we've only got a certain amount of time. So I've got to get going now because I've got a young man coming down to have a look at the machine. I ain't ending these live streams. I really do. I think I get on a bit of a downer after. So, yeah. New guy's good. Dan is good, Gareth. Absolutely spot on. Tickler says, I've been so busy, I've tried to miss out, but missed the last few weeks. Have been a madness. It's no problem at all. I think sometimes if we just take that time out, and I think that's the thing about the live streams, what we're able to do, it just gets you away from everything that is a massive distraction. And then you come on here and you see other people in the same boat as you. And remember, these live streams is not to target the consumer. These live streams is to help the consumer, to help the landscaper, to bring us together, to help and educate and hopefully bring people together and start understanding how things work and how to get good value from everything in life. Okay? Well, now, it's a wet day. It's drizzling a little bit. Rob Fry says, Rob Fry says, have a blessed weekend, one and all. Thanks for the great content. Rob, thank you. That's it. The live stream's over. I'm going to cut a little bit short the weekend because I've got somebody coming. I want to go and see him. So please, by all, everyone do what you're doing. I love reading what people say. This stream gives me a positivity, Rob Beat says, when I have so much going on. It does, Rob, and I understand it, mate. This is well. Please don't forget mine. We're in this together. If anybody needs any help at any time, I can't say it enough. I really can. Just drop me a message. Give me a ring. You've got my number. It's been on here. I did keep you hold on. No, I've still got the same van, Gav. Still got the same van, mate. This is the first time in 3 weeks I've been available. Very busy, luckily. Yeah, it's fine, absolutely fine, Mario. Neil Farris says, enjoy your day, everyone. Yeah, that's it, I'm afraid. And I'm not going to read any more comments. It's coming in there. I'm not going to look at it. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend, okay? All of you have a great weekend. I really appreciate your participation on there. Let's come up with some ideas. Drop me some ideas. Don't forget to send me some pictures. See you soon. I got to call it a day. I don't want to do this, but all the best. Be safe. Keep up the daily grind. Take care.